Welcome back. The Mumbai Gokhale Bridge was shut down on the 3rd of November, and over a month later, there is no update, there is no clarity on when this arterial bridge, which connects the east and west of the important suburb of Andheri in the city of Mumbai, will be fixed. Right now, bickering is still on, and the travel time for commuters has grown by about an hour and a half. The woes grow every single day. Commute times have increased. Cabs and autos refuse to travel in the air. And even if you have to manage to book a cab, you have to deal with surge pricing. While residents are fuming, Mumbai has said that they've chosen safety over convenience. Now, what has queered the pitch, in a sense, is a report by IIT experts saying that the bridge can be opened at least for two-wheelers and three-wheelers in the middle portion of the road, and minor repairs below the bridge can be done for now. Railway Ministry sources, meanwhile, speaking on the closure of the bridge, say that they are seized of it, they're dealing with the matter, and they've discussed with the top leaders of the state. Aditya Thackeray got into the whole melee by talking about why this is not being opened, at least for two-wheelers and three-wheelers. He's called the closure a publicity stunt. And today, Mumbai's Guardian Minister has hit back. Listen in.
There is a certain suspicion that this may be contractor driven across the city, because suddenly many bridges have come to light where these reports are saying it is dilapidated while it was perfectly moving well. I'm not going into the technical aspect, but the biggest issue here is there are two institutes of national repute, VJTI and IIT, who have submitted conflicting reports. If you see the reports, both of them agree on a certain point that two-wheelers, three-wheelers be allowed on it with varying degrees of repairs to the bridge and restrictions. The conflict is over how much repair and what condition of the bridge is required right now. The only demand from me and the only request from me as a citizen, as a Mumbaiker, is if really both the reports have said that two-wheelers, three-wheelers be allowed, why has it been stopped? Third, make the report public. Make both the reports public, let the people decide, because this is in public interest. But most importantly, to bring a consensus in both the institutes of national repute, I think a high-powered committee consisting of both the engineers or both the people who have consulted on these teams and a third party be included, and have a public consultation, have an open, transparent account and audit of the bridge within the next week, and do whatever is required.
मैंने जिस दिन ये ब्रिज बंद हुआ उसके बाद में इसके बारे में 3 मीटिंग्स ली थी। स्वयं ब्रिज के ऊपर गया था और मैंने तभी महानगर पालिका के अधिकारियों को कहा था कि इस ब्रिज को लाइट व्हीकल्स, टू व्हीलर्स, साइकिल्स, पेडेस्ट्रियंस और थ्री व्हीलर्स के लिए खुला रखना चाहिए। उनके पास में 2 अलग-अलग विरोधाभास रिपोर्ट आई है, और मैं इसी सप्ताह में उसके बारे में निर्णय करने वाला हूं पालक मंत्री के नाते, और मेरा प्रयास रहेगा कि लोगों को कम से कम असुविधा हो।
सर, आदित्य ठाकरे जी ने मांग की है कि जो 2 कॉन्फ्लिक्टिंग रिपोर्ट आई है उस पर हाई पावर कमेटी का गठन हो और लोगों को एटलीस्ट थोड़ी सुविधा दी जाए कि लाइट मोटर व्हीकल चालू किया जाए।
मैंने पहले से इसका जवाब दे दिया है।
सर, और जिस तरीके से एक और एलिगेशन लग रहा है कि इंडियन रेलवेज कहे, बीएमसी कहे या सरकार के बीच में तालमेल नहीं है, एक दूसरे पर ब्लेम गेम के नाते चीजें ढकली जा रही है, एक पॉलिटिकल स्टंट के तौर पे ये बताया जा रहा है, क्या कहेंगे सर?
नहीं, मुझे लगता है कि एलिगेशन लगाने का भी एक स्तर होना चाहिए। आप 25 साल से महानगर पालिका में हो, पहले 5 साल आप पार्टनर थे, 2.5 साल आप मालिक बन के, अकेले मालिक बन के आपने महाराष्ट्र चलाया, मुंबई चलाई, तभी आपने सब ये क्यों सोल्व करने को नहीं लिया? अभी तो हमको आए हुए जुम्मा 6 महीने भी नहीं हुए हैं। सभी चीजों के बारे में सकारात्मक कार्रवाई शुरू है, जल्दी से जल्दी।
And my colleague Abhishek is joining me live from the spot in Andheri, which has become the alternative to the Gokhale Bridge. This is where hours are lost in commute, isn't it, Abhishek?
Yes, definitely, and I'd like to show you. This is the Andheri subway area. The nearest spot and the alternative diversion that is in Gain. And you can see, the small patch of road, the subway, and you can witness the huge traffic jam. And, these are the commuters, daily commuters who are facing hardship. You can see the traffic right from the subway till end of the road over there. And, this is the daily affair now. In fact, towards my right, I would like my VJ to show you, this is the road coming from that flyover. And again, there is no right side is banned. I mean, you cannot immediately take a right turn. You will have to go all the way and take a U-turn. And this is the situation on ground. And people are facing hardship. Mumbaikars are facing hardship. Hours after hours of waiting, minute after minutes of waiting, and then they get a green signal to travel under the subway and go to the east side of. And right now we are present at Andheri West, towards the west side. And this is a daily affair that the Mumbaikars have to face. And in fact, as we spoke to the Guardian Minister of Mumbai, he also made several political claims. In fact, he did assure that in 1 week's of time, light motor vehicle will be allowed on the bridge. But again, politics is going around. But what is important to note is the Mumbaikars are suffering day by day, hours by hours, and minute by minute. And you can again see these visuals, and that speaks louder than word.
No, so I want to give a bit of context for this.
Facing, day by day.
Okay, thanks for that, Abhishek. But I want to give some context to this. And I'm getting now Dr. Sudhir Krishna, former Secretary, Ministry of Urban Development, and Ramesh Denge, former Chief Planner, Navi Mumbai, with me on the show. Welcome to both of you. Now, the context of this Gokhale Bridge being shut is important because the report saying that it could be unsafe, and many other bridges in Mumbai have been declared dilapidated or unsafe for a while. This decision, Dr. Krishna, I'll come to you first, followed the Morbi tragedy because it seems like the authorities wanted to play safe after the Morbi tragedy. They wanted to ensure that something like that, a catastrophe, doesn't take place in Mumbai. Isn't that the context?
Well, I will not know for sure whether that is the context, but looks like, I also feel that Morbi has shaken the confidence of many people who are managing bridges, and particularly in the cities. And to my understanding, the context is that civic bodies do not have adequately strong technical manpower. I mean, the amount of attention given to cadre management of engineers in national highways and state highways, state PWD, I don't think that kind of attention is being given for management of technical cadres of the municipal bodies. And, these are very costly, for the people, very economically high potential bridges, communication means. If you see, there is an annual inspection program for bridges in national highways, state highways. There is a manual for that, but there is hardly any manual for inspection of bridges and, maintenance for the municipal.
No, I want to understand, Dr. Krishna, that this thing that you can send two-wheelers, you can send three-wheelers, but don't send cars. If something is unsafe, it's unsafe. If it's safe and can be used for some time with minor repairs, it can. Why is there so much confusion over this?
Well, something can be good for light motor vehicles and may not be good for heavy traffic. That is possible, I think. I cannot deny that. I cannot rule out that possibility that a particular bridge is good for lighter vehicles and not good for heavy transport. So there is nothing wrong in that, I think, in principle. But this bridge has to be checked. But I don't think that this is a knee-jerk reaction. And when things are getting, kind of under debate, which is a public safety matter, should not become a matter of debate.
Absolutely. But where the debate has begun from, and I'll bring in Mr. Denge here, is reports from IIT Bombay and VJTI that seem to suggest, now the reports are saying opposite things, different things, but they seem to suggest that it can be used for light vehicles. Now, what is the process by which this decision will be made, apart from the political bickering?
See, what happens is the bridges are designed for live loads. Live loads is the load which is already passing through its span. So if there is a heavy vehicle, naturally the live load will be more. And if it's a light vehicle or two-wheeler, the vehicular load on the bridge will be less. So that's why that recommendation has been made to permit light motor vehicles and two-wheelers. The exact difference between these two reports will have to be studied. But as an immediate measure, what can be done is we follow the stringency. Both the reports we need to study, and we should find out what is the stringency. And that stringency needs to be observed till the final decision is made. But whatever common both the reports say, that we can safely follow.
Absolutely. Now, the other part of the story is, and Dr. Krishna, you can perhaps help us to understand this, is where the Ministry of Railways comes in, where the local authorities come in, and this has happened over time in Mumbai, where it's unclear who's going to finally take the call, which agency is going to demolish the bridge, which agency is going to build the new one, and that also creates a lot of delay, isn't it?
Absolutely. I think it is high time that the municipal commissioner, Bombay has a unique position where municipal commissioner is a very senior officer. He is almost of the rank of chief secretary to the state government. And I think he should be in a position to convene a meeting with both the institutions, the VJTI and the IIT and the railways and whosoever other matters. I think it is not like absolutely a rocket science that nobody can understand as to what is in this report and that report. But these all can be reconciled, and the final solution can be found out. And it should not take much longer also. But if we allow these things to be debated in, through media and public and so on, it will complicate the matter, and without, giving a proper, reasonable solution. A solution should be possible. I think it is nothing such a very unique thing that nobody can understand and so on. I have handled all these things. I think the municipal commissioner should be in a position, along with his senior officers from state government, from railways, they all can sit together and analyze both the reports and on ground what is the position. And I think within few days they should come out with a resolution.
So, as per the resolution, Mr. Denge, now this is the tough part. Mumbai is a city connected with bridges. Many of them are very, very old bridges. So this is an issue that is going to recur again and again over the years. It's not just about Gokhale Bridge, though today that is the choke point. And we've always seen this sort of clash between different agencies who have to execute. You have a bridge in the middle of the city in Lower Parel, which has been shut for nearly 5 years now.
Yeah, absolutely. You said it precisely. See, in case of Mumbai, what happens is almost 43% of the population is using the public transport, that is local trains. So it's a very vital, linkage that that takes the Mumbaikars from places to places. So it's you cannot do anything about it, and it runs on the surface. So but at the same time, it acts as a scissor, it cuts the lands into two pieces, east and west. And these bridges are the medium which stitches these two parts, east and west. So on one hand, we have to carry out what structural audit and what needs to be done to whether to repair, whether to reconstruct and all that. But at the same time, the traffic is increasing, the congestion is going to increase. With increased FSI, there will be more traffic that will be generated. So that needs to be studied right now. And wherever possible, new bridges can be constructed. And the new bridges can be constructed with the latest technologies. I mean, if we see at some locations, the bridges are constructed somewhere else, they are transported to the place, and within no time the bridge can be made ready. It does not have to be cast in situ. That means on the site it need not be casted. It can be manufactured somewhere and just placed it there. So these kind of methods and new locations for the bridges will have to be identified so that the local runs uninterruptedly, and at the same time life of the people is made easier by alternate bridges.
Absolutely. Make a plan first. I mean, no one is saying that allow heavy traffic on unsafe bridges or dilapidated bridges which can harm people's life or end up in a catastrophe, but maybe plan it better. If you could have allowed 2- and 3-wheelers with light repairs, why wasn't it done so far? Where is the thinking? We need to see that process of thinking in government and in policy implementation. Thank you so much, Dr. Krishna and Ramesh Denge, for joining us today.